The other thing that just bugs the hell out of me when I see it on YouTube, people leaving comments about blood. When the wrestlers bleed from the foreheads, it is not fake blood. They don't use blood tablets or blood capsules or ketchup or whatever. When they bleed from the forehead, it is 100% real blood. What they do is they take slivers of razor blade or X-Acto knife. They'll cut the tip off. They'll hide it in the tape on their fingers or the tape on their wrist, or the referee will hand it to them somewhere during the match. And they make a small cut on their forehead. Again, they're trained. They know where to cut the forehead. The forehead basically is the one part of the body that's going to bleed the most. And if they know where to cut on the forehead, it's going to produce a lot of blood and leave a scar that's basically gone in a couple days. Put a Band-Aid on it, it heals up in a couple days, and they're good to go. There are certain parts of the forehead you shouldn't cut because of there's the veins that come through and the scarring. And if you see wrestlers, especially guys from like ECW, the old-time ECW, their forehead is just full of scars. And most wrestlers, when you see wrestlers on the forehead, they've got scars. That's from the razor blades. The blood is not fake. Yeah, if they have internal injuries and they're spitting up blood, that's usually a blood capsule. But the blood on the forehead, and I will testify in a court of law to this, and I'm tired of people saying, oh, it's fake blood, it's fake blood. The blood from the forehead is 100% real. There's videos out there that show you how they do it, and it shows you step by step, and in slow motion you can see the guys cutting themselves. But the blood from the forehead is real. It's called juicing or blading. And that's the one, I mean, you can't say that's fake. It is 100% real, and there's no way you can fake that, especially when the match goes on for a while and they keep bleeding. What are they going to do, just keep popping blood capsules on their forehead? It doesn't work that way. And I've been watching wrestling for 25 years, since I was a little kid, and I could write for these guys. I've seen it, I know how they do it, I know all the moves they're going to do, I can tell you who's going to do what in a match, and I can tell you when I see a wrestler come walking out. Take, for example, Shawn Michaels. I was watching a thing with my dad, I think, it was a few years ago. I was watching a pay-per-view, and Shawn Michaels came out, and his forehead was like beet red. And I said, oh, he's gonna get cut open in this match. He says, how do you know? I said, because it looks like he was backstage hitting himself to get his forehead red and get all the blood rushing to it. Sure enough, about 10 minutes into the match, Shawn Michaels winds up bleeding because he prepared his forehead, because you could tell it was beet red, like he'd been back there hitting on it. I've also read where wrestlers use aspirin. They'll pop 2 or 3 aspirin a little while before a match. It thins out the blood, makes the blood come faster, and makes them look like they're bleeding more because it thins out the blood. So that's my subject on blading and blood. The blood is not fake. The blood is 100% real when it comes from their foreheads. Injuries. There are injuries in and out of the ring, and it's not because they're fake injuries. There are actually serious injuries that come out of wrestling. So anybody who's going to say wrestling is fake, go in there. Get hit in the head with a chair. Get thrown into the ropes and down on the mat a few times. See how you feel the next morning. These guys, when they're performing on Monday Night Raw, it's not like a football game. Oh, these guys just get together once a week, and that's it. That's the show. They come back next week. No, these guys are out every night. Anywhere between 300 to 350 shows a year. These guys are doing this on a nightly basis. Just because you don't see them on TV doesn't mean they're not out wrestling doing house shows. They do 3 or 4 house shows before the next televised event. So that's why these injuries are so frequent. Bad knees, bad backs, bad hips, whatever. You can't fake injuries, real injuries. Yeah, they have injuries that are written into the script, and it's good for the storyline, but for the most part, there's a lot of injuries out there. Take, for example, Edge is out right now with a Achilles tendon injury. He blew out his Achilles tendon during a match. He could be out for at least a year. He could lose his career because of this. Triple H, his quad muscles on both legs, he has separated the quad muscle from the bone on 2 different occasions on each leg. They said he would never wrestle again. He trained, he rehab, and he's back in it. But yeah, he's heavily taped when he wrestles because he doesn't want to re-injure it. Shawn Michaels broke his back during a wrestling match. Randy Orton broke his collarbone during a wrestling match. So, you know, the injuries most of the injuries that you don't hear about are pretty real. There are the fake injuries that are in the storyline, but most of the time, these guys are out here, like I said, 300 to 350 times a year, sometimes not getting a chance to heal, and they're wrestling injured. They're wrestling broken and bruised and battered, and they're still doing it to put on a good show. So, take all that into account. Look back, look at a few videos on YouTube, and yeah, there are a couple videos out there that'll say, oh, this is fake, but like I say, it's not fake, it's choreographed. There is a difference. So, you know what? Start your comments, start your feedback. Let's get a good argument going here. In my opinion, I believe it's not fake, it's choreographed, and I've given some good points as to why I think this. So, feel free to argue with me. Feel free to, agree, disagree, whatever. Like I said, not fake, choreographed. There's a difference. That's one man's opinion. Thanks a lot, guys.